So, in shortly after we moved to Salt Lake City, there was this the house had a pool. I had a high bricked enclosed area, and it had a swimming pool in the back, and and yeah, I had lived in California, in the city, and then we moved to Idaho for a little while, and then we moved to Salt Lake City, and sometimes Fred would get very just kind of like angry and irritated, and he told me to go put the hose away that was like out by the pool. And this was just when we just had barely moved there, and so we had a pool shed, and I asked him, what was I supposed to do with it, and he said put it in the pool shed, and I had never put even a hose away. I mean, if you can imagine living in like a downtown urban place, and then I just had never so I put the hose in the pool house, like on the floor, and he saw it, and he came in the house where I was at this time, and I mean, he had the worst, scariest temper that I had ever seen. And I had seen them fighting in Idaho, like going head up each other, but like it was kind of the beginning, and we didn't know him very much, and he wasn't around a lot in Idaho, so we just didn't I had not really seen that side of him. And this was just shortly after moving there, and we call that day Black Saturday in our house. Like, so he yelled at me to get outside, and he told me I had to stand on my head. I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. I'm standing on my head, like he's screaming at me, and I fell over, and I mean, like after a little while, and he told me to get back up or he would break my legs, and I mean, I was just scared. Like, I don't know what happened, but somehow, like, Candace had done something wrong too, and she was out there with me, and it was really scary. I'm gonna say, like, for the most part, when Vivi came to visit, she was he wouldn't yell at her because their divorce agreement or whatever, like whenever he, if he did anything, she didn't have to come. If she wasn't happy, she didn't have to come. And so this was, I don't know if she ever had seen that side, but he was so much worse to us. He was incredibly abusive, and it was a horror. I'd never had that before, like never. And here he is, like 6'5", football player build, and I'm like 70 pounds at the time. I mean, just a girl, like 11, 12, and Candace is like 9, 10. I remember that day, he was marching us down to the basement. This basement was it was like very well insulated and kind of mostly underground, and we passed by the kitchen, and my mom was sitting at the table, and I remember like crying and looking to my mom going like, look what this guy is doing. Like, and she goes, I don't want to hear it. Like, I wash my hands of you. That's what she said. And that was also a shock. We did not really know this man a lot at this time. Like, they'd had an on-phone relationship for, 6 months. And then, we were 7 months in Idaho. And he wasn't around a lot. And here's one of the things that I do. So I have a tendency to, for years, I have tried to justify or excuse, how we were treated. And, I've tried to excuse away, whatever, and he... and I was like, maybe it's Alexandra, maybe he's stressed about that. I also said, I don't know, maybe it's like a money thing. I don't know. Back in that time, I didn't know what was going on, but I do know he would shout inches away from our face, at the top of his lungs, and Candace and I are down there and we're crying, and he's spitting on her face, and whenever he got super angry, he had a lazy eye, so it would just wander off while he's shouting at you, and you had to look him straight in the face. And I don't know, I guess at this point he was blowing our steam or something, but here he is, this giant man that's a huge bully, and he was very scary. And anyway, I think Candace was in trouble, if I remember right, because she didn't start the trash compactor when she finished with the cereal box or something. She put it in the trash, but she didn't push the button. And again, we're both and this was a day, this was I don't know, we're coming to a place we don't have experience with. And then he locked us in a bathroom, this sub-basement bathroom that was quite small, and he just locked us in, told us we could not turn on the light, and kept us in there for hours. And so I wish I could say that was rare, but one of the things after he did a full-on shouting till, I don't know, I guess he ran out of steam. There was nothing we could do or say, because we were very evil or something. I don't know, but he would then he'd go, come here, and try to hug us, and maybe he would I don't know, say sorry, or maybe we were supposed to say sorry. I just remember thinking how sick this was, and one of the things was that Candace was one of the no matter how many times this happened, and this was kind of the start, she would always cry and cave into him and just be I'm sorry, and he would say do you forgive me, and she'd say yes, and I was supposed to do that, but in my heart I was this isn't right, this is really messed up, nobody had treated us like that before, nobody. And I don't know what to say, but it just kept building. That was the start, and it just continued to get worse and worse and worse. And there were years later when I was growing up in another house where I was I guess maybe he had a traumatic brain injury from playing football. I know he wasn't pro and didn't play in pro games, but maybe on his college, I don't know I don't know why, but there were times when he would be shouting at me, and I would just be like, I need to get out of here. And he would say, if you think of running away, you can never come back. Like, you will never be allowed to come in this house. And one of my issues is I don't think I have ever been able to have emotions that didn't reflect on my face. I think, I don't know. That began, like, that was the beginning of abuse on levels that I never had before. And Vivi knows that happened. She wasn't here, but we talked about it. We told her about it. And that was pretty much, we were threatened that we were not allowed to tell anyone. And I didn't for a very long time. And